Hello, my name is Harrington Bodko. We're back. We have Bono Daso with us. If you don't know who he is, he's got 8 books.
9.
9 books it's all available in National Bookstore all over the country. So go read up if you want to know more about history and the stories that's not necessarily in the archives, because here Bono gives personal insights on his relationship, his experiences, his tirades if necessary, with the many leaders of our country in the last 5 decades, correct?
Correct.
Five
Correct,
decades.
correct.
Bono, let's finish up on the, so you, on this topic with the church and the president. Anong maganda gawin natin dito? Kasi parang malala, the country will only suffer it.
There should be a mediator, Harry.
But it doesn't seem like someone's coming near.
Yeah.
The president's too strong.
Yeah.
It's too strong right now.
And as a matter of fact, maybe the approaches should be made subliminally, both to the president and the leader of the Catholic Church. After all, Cardinal Tagle is always open to conversation.
But he's not, as of late, the last 3 months, he has said nothing. He's kept mum.
That's his problem.
Kasi mga malala ngayon, gaya yung kay Sereno, lumalabas si Father Robert Reyes.
Reyes, yes.
Oh, naglalabas, may ataol pa siyang dala. I mean, overkill, di ba? Yeah. Democracy is dead.
Yeah.
He's carrying an empty coffin, dragging it in the streets.
Robert Reyes should remember a historical event in the past. No, I'm not just saying anything. But remember, the father of Ferdinand Marcos was defeated in his run for the governor.
I didn't know that.
Against the governorship. The other fellow was
Reyes?
No, Nalundasan.
Nalundasan. Oh, tama, Nalundasan.
Nalundasan, because they paraded also an ataol.
I didn't know that.
All over.
That time?
They paraded after the defeat.
After the defeat?
The defeat of the father, they paraded the ataol. Oh,
kasi Marcos won Ferdinand won.
No. The one who won there was Nalundasan.
Nalundasan, okay.
And the one who died was the Marcos candidate.
The Marcos candidate.
What happened after that is that Nalundasan got shot.
Ayun.
And Ferdinand Marcos
was blamed
for it. He was preparing for the
nagawa
burial
na yun nun, yung ataol na dinidisplay yung ataol.
Masama yan, yung mga ataol yan.
Hindi maganda.
I am not in favor of ataols and burning of effigies.
Oh, they're still doing the burning of
because
effigies.
they deliver a very serious personal message. It's designed at the individual. Let's just discuss issues. That's why 2 years ago, I was proposing to the voice of the president that why don't we have a debate at the, I think I did it in your program. Debate at the University of the Philippines.
Yes.
Send their best debaters, covered by media, and then everyone can have a big laugh after that, di ba? After that,
See, if this continues, itong world war, which seems to continue, it doesn't look like it's going to die. Sino tingin mo mananalo, matatalo? Kaya ni Duterte ang Katoliko, ang simbahan? Everyone will say no. And yet, kaya ba ng Katoliko ang presidente with the highest rating that is consistent since he stepped into office in the 80s? I mean, no other world president has that kind of survey and support. Yung continuous, ha? No matter what the opposition says, ang tibay niya.
Ang problema kasi of the Catholic Church is the same problem as the opposition. The opposition and the Catholic Church need leadership. They should find a leader who can match Duterte.
But so far, wala.
In the present scene,
wala.
Nobody.
Not in the church.
I am just
but
sorry.
Sino tingin
and
mo mananalo?
even on the political level, wala rin.
Sinong pwedeng mananalo? Well, you've got Tatad. You've got Tatad who writes very ferociously, he's for the church.
Yeah,
because ano siya,
ang problema ni Kit is he has baggages. He came back from Ferdinand Marcos, and Ferdinand Marcos is associated with the current administration.
Yeah, but he bounced back when he became the senator, that sort of thing. But my issue is, pwede kaya manalo si Duterte over the church? Or kaya ba ng simbahan talunin si Duterte?
No, in the short run.
In the short run. In the foreseeable future.
In foreseeable future means the next 3 years. That's the
No, let's even go less.
Yeah,
The
okay.
next 3 years, while his presidency is on.
For as long as the Catholic Church cannot evolve a charismatic leader
Matatalo siya.
who can match with President Duterte, talo yan. That's the same judgment I have for the opposition.
Oh, so
The
far, talo no?
As of now, the opposition is opposed in session.
Yes.
It's cigarette butts that are having sessions. You cannot fight Duterte with cigarette butts.
Yeah, you cannot. No.
You have to.
You have answered
We
it
are
on that.
110 million Filipinos. As a matter of fact, during the time of Marcos, everybody was telling me that there's only one Marcos in the country. I said, wrong. There must be one in every million of Marcoses. The only difference, according to the Australian journalist, is when that other million, that other one,
Yeah, the other one.
will respond to the challenge of death. And then,
That's the problem.
that's the problem.
Where do you think our current politics is going? We've already launched the campaign. Of course, it's illegal. You're only supposed to launch in February. Lahat sinasabi ng COMELEC, which is always, nobody listens to the COMELEC anyway. Hindi ka
Everything-
pwede mangampanya. Everyone's campaigning, left and
Of
right.
course, of course.
Everyone is campaigning, di ba? There is no integrity to the discipline that they espouse or they try to say that they are supposed to enforce, di ba? Where do you think that election is going? Now that Revilla is out, lumakas yung candidacy niya, maging senador na naman.
Yeah, of course. You know, in the current situation, with the way things are going,
Yes.
if the opposition cannot evolve a new formula, I think they have a problem. They have a problem. Problem because, as you said,
So magiging 12-0 ito. Walang, in other words,
not
wala ng yelo.
Not necessarily. It could be 2, 3 of them, but 2 or 3 would
That's
be
it.
inconsequential. Inconsequential.
Why are people still voting people who have not performed? Look at Grace po. Why?
Well,
I can understand Villar. Villar has a nice combination of media and work ethics, Okay siya si Cynthia Villar. But why Grace po? Ako, hindi ko makakita eh.
Well,
And why the other, it doesn't make sense. Cayetano, she's been out 3 years. Wala naman ginawa yun, nandoon siya noon eh.
Filipinos
5
work,
babae yan,
No.
nangunguna.
Filipinos work on their illusions. That's the problem in this country.
So, bobo ang butante.
Yeah.
Bobo ang butante. Short of it is bobo ang butante.
No, yeah. As
You're
a matter of
saying
fact-
it in nice words. Alam mo, yun ang maganda sa journalist eh. You can make it sound like it's so nice. Di ba?
As I was saying, the people get the government they deserve.
Agreed.
The people dependent on its education. On its education. The people of this country are really not educated on the democratic fundamentals. For instance, the most fundamental basis of democracy is the election, because you decide on who will be your leaders.
yes.
They are never
Tama
told.
ka, no? Ang ganda tingnan. Yun ang character eh.
Yeah, they are not supposed to. The leaders are not supposed to buy votes. The voters are not supposed to be voted.
Yeah.
The leaders should inform them about the issues. The followers don't care about
What
the issues.
And yet, the Filipino, when he travels abroad, is most respected. Our OFWs. Number 1 sa Marino, the traveling on ships.
They are pretty good.
They're good.
Pretty good.
When we travel abroad, we seem to follow rules. And even as caregivers, even as domestic helpers, we take care of the kids. We don't slap around the kids. Di ba? I mean, more or less.
Yes.
Ang galing ng Pilipino when they go out of the country. And yet dito, sa labas pala, paglabas naman, hindi pa bumibili ng kropek at mani sa simbahan, nagmumurahan na Sunday, right after Mass.
Yeah.
Di ba?
The best joke about the Filipino, pretty good, brilliant performance abroad, speaking fluent English,
Yes.
goes to the market, gets beaten bankrupt, and all of a sudden he reveals himself as the Filipino. That's a Filipino problem. And I think we can reorient and re-educate the
So,
Filipino.
what you suggested the first part, I mean, in grade school pa lang.
Grade school.
From growing up pa
Oh,
lang,
yeah.
I mean,
Kindergarten, yes.
doon mag-umpisa na.
Yes, as
The
a ma-
Japanese way, the strategy.
Correct. That's the Japanese way. I'm wondering what these people in the Department of Education are doing. Increasing the number of years. A man should be, a boy should be
There's
in...
duplicity in third and fourth year.
No.
For 12K, di ba?
I'm just telling you, Harry, I have to dig into my own experience. I'm a product of the public school system. No?
Yeah, but a terrific
No.
product you came out to be.
I graduated from the Misamis Oriental High School at Cagayan de Oro City. Do you know that when I went to UP, I got surprised with the curriculum during the first 2 years because I didn't have to study. The curriculum of UP in the first 2 years of liberal arts were a duplication of the curriculum at my high school.
But the education of past 40, 50 years ago, we have senators, congressmen, great mayors that came from the public school system.
Correct.
Today, it's the other way around.
It's the other way around because the public schools have deteriorated and the private schools have improved. No?
Bumaliktad eh. In the
look.
old days, lumalaban eh.
Yeah, look, Harry, when my father only finished grade 7, but he was mayor, legendary mayor, for about 20 years in my town.
Imagine.
You know, after graduating, he started teaching in the public school.
Malaking bagay.
Imagine
malaking
that.
bagay. Oh, malaking bagay.
And then, a little later, he became chief of police.
Pero today, parang hindi
Wala,
na eh.
wala,
Ngayon, puro Ateneo, La Salle, and in the Filipino Ivy League schools. Ganun na nangyari eh.
I don't like them to be surprised with what I'll say. I don't like to say it here, but I'm writing a book now.
Please, we've launched 2 of your books already here.
No, yeah.
2, yeah.
Maybe we could launch. I have 2 books in mind to be launched. No? One is my configuration of what the country should be.
Ideal, aspire to be.
I don't like to rival Marcos. Marcos, his new society is so different from mine. No?
No, but
Conceptually.
as much as you deflected, confronted, you still respect Marcos in
Oh,
your
of
book.
course.
In
Of
spite,
course.
lumabang ka, bangga kayo,
No,
you still respect
because-
him in your writing.
Marcos is still the best president of this country from Marcos until today. Why?
Intellect-wise.
No, brilliant.
Brilliant. Talagang brilliant.
He had vision. He had vision of
may
the country,
vision, may
the new
vision.
society. He had a blueprint. As
May
a matter of
blueprint
fact,
siya.
many of the blueprints
Until now,
of Marcos are still being implemented.
Yes, it's true.
He has a genuine love of country. And he has discipline. The man's
mana.
got discipline, you know. When I invited him for the first time, he went to Cagayan de Oro. He was running for president. Mr. President, he was Senate President. I would like you to be a guest of the Misamis Oriental Bar Association. Not today, please. I'm campaigning. I have to focus on my campaign. Tell them that when I become president, I'll be back. Give me the invitation.
He went back.
He did not invite him anymore because Pilay suffered a devastating defeat in the convention.
Pilay,
and,
yeah.
and the people didn't like the way he was defeated. No? But me and Marcos, we had conversations
I know in your book, I read. You had one-on-one many times.
many times.
Many times.
He respected me and I respected him.
Going to the president today, you did not necessarily push for him, promote him, and yet today you agree with him that what he's doing.
No, he agreed with me at the beginning.
But you and him, di ka bangga eh, with Duterte today.
But his boys are not implementing the policies that he defined.
You always said that.
Eh,
Mahina ang grupo niya.
Yeah, he's not getting any help. For instance, I'll just cite you an
Yes,
example.
yes.
The President Duterte defined a 6 months timeline for
Correct.
the eradication of the drug
Drugs.
problem in
Yes.
the Philippines, or reduce it to the minimum.
Correct.
His problem, he should have gotten a Secretary of Justice who could do that.
Matapang.
No, who could do it because he had enough imagination, enough brains. As Speaker Laurel used to say, may utak sa bayag at may bayag sa utak. Brains in his balls and balls in his brains. Because he should have found the Secretary of Justice who would tell him, Mr. President,
Laban tayo. Kaya
I will
natin.
do that in 6 months. I'll do it in 6 months. But give me a free hand to do it. No, the victories will be yours. The achievements will be yours. The mistakes are mine.
No, he went Baliktad, binigay kay Bato de la Rosa.
Ayun na nga. Ay, hindi. But the Secretary of Justice should have been, ang problema niya, si Aguirre at the beginning. And unfortunately, Aguirre, fortunately or unfortunately, he got replaced. But it's the same thing.
It's the same thing all over again.
All over again.
May
You know,
mahina.
after reaching the midterm, I hope that some people could convince the president to start.
But how can the
Ano yun?
president do it when to begin with, his political network is very small? Being a mayor for 27 years. Di ba? I mean, he's not a national person, so
Yeah,
to speak.
that's one of his problems. But he should have learned already in
By
the
now,
3-year
no?
period.
Sa bagay, na.
And
Wala
he-
na excuse ngayon.
For instance, I'm not saying me.
Ah.
For instance, somebody like me and like you should, okay, let's sit down together. What do you think are really my mistakes? And what do you think are good
Do you
plans
think the
for country?
president listens? Or do you think power has got into his
No,
head?
not even before. As a matter of fact, as I said to some people, Jess Dorisa and I met each other in the airport in Cagayan de Oro City. When the
Nag-out na
president,
si Jess Dorisa recently,
when he was just running
Ah.
for public office. And I said, you know, Jess, if Digong wants support from Mindanao and all over the country, the first thing he should do is to discipline his mouth. I said that to Jess.
I'm not sure that's even possible, but go ahead.
No.
Sige.
And then Jess answered, Bono, nobody can teach Digong what to say and what to do.
Oh, mukha nga eh.
Just let him say, let him do it, and if you're in his government, do what you think is best.
Ayun.
The problem with these people is they're not doing their best. You know, in a presidential system, it's the president who achieves, and the members of the cabinet are the ones who commit mistakes. Now, the mistakes of the members
It's
of
the
the cabinet are pointed to the president. By God,
Baliktad, no?
ano ba yan?
Baliktad. May flaw definitely si Duterte, but that's also maybe his charm with the masses, so
Yeah,
to
of course.
speak.
He has captured the hearts and minds of the
Oo nga,
Filipino.
di ba? So he's not gonna let go. Alam niya eh.
Oh, I know.
Any and all studies point, hey, kapareho kami, nagmumura kaming dalawa eh. O, di ba? Parang ganun eh.
That's why the opposition will have to produce a leader with brains in his balls and balls in his brains
Well,
and can match Duterte.
But they tried with Mar Rojas in the middle,
Ano?
in the middle of Ayala Avenue, nagmura siya, and everybody went,
No,
"Ang bastos naman ang bibig nito. Bakit gano'n?
I'm sorry because ang problem ni Mar is
Elitist eh.
yeah, he belongs to the elite.
Elite talaga yan.
He does not know the language of the masses, how to communicate.
Oh.
There is a way to communicating with them. You need a leader like that who, when he mounts the stage, the people will march.
Wala, it doesn't have it.
It's not enough
Wala.
to be a Cicero.
Hindi.
You must be Demosthenes.
Correct.
When Cicero spoke, people listened.
Listened,
But when
yeah.
Demosthenes spoke, people marched.
People march.
Better if you are a Cicero and a Demosthenes.
And both,
In the
di ba?
one. Yes.
But do you think there is still, okay, we've got 3 years and more.
There is still time.
Kaya pa, no?
Kaya.
Pero okay, let's look at the basics na hindi pwedeng palitan. Yung pagmumura niya, I doubt. Like just Doresa, your friend, told you cannot tell the president.
But you remember this. Every time he reads his speech, walang murahan.
Wala.
Wala. You see?
Wala,
You see?
wala.
So there's a way of doing things to discipline that kind of habit.
Yeah, walang
Read this-
mura.
And the problem is the speech are too long.
Oh, haba.
That's why the president disregards the speech. We one look alone at the number of
haba,
pages.
ang haba, eh.
Masyadong mahaba. Get a speech writer who delivered good punchlines, bullet points.
How about this brewing, I don't know if you can call it conflict, brewing conflict or disagreements with, because Teddy Boy is another one whose mouth can go off.
Yeah, I know.
You know Teddy Boy, look,
Yeah,
I mean,
He just made another statement.
yeah, ano rin yan? Kumbaga, Trump, he tweets. Tsaka brilliant din si Teddy Boy. His academic background is super, I mean, it's something to look at.
Ateneo yan, di ba?
Oh, and nag-Harvard pa yan, di ba? I mean, tsaka malakas ang loob. Journalist din, di ba?
Oh, yeah, I
And
know.
he loves country.
But he's very temperamental.
Oh, dalawa sila ng presidente.
yun na.
Tingin mo tatagal yung dalawa na yun?
Hindi
Mukhang
tatagal.
nagbabanggaan na sila.
You know, ang main problem, I want to be open about this. The main problem with people like Teddy Boy, he was given an opportunity at the
was.
United Nations. Did you hear anything from him? In the United Nations? You heard nothing.
Hindi nagsalita
No,
masyado.
hindi pwede
Hindi
yun.
nagparticipate.
As a matter of fact, a very good Secretary of Foreign Affairs and a very good ambassador to the UN should have found the correct venue to do battle with China. You cannot do battle with China at the West Philippine Sea, at the physical
correct.
West
Tama
Philippine
yan.
Sea.
Agree with
Look for a venue where you can do battle.
The UN would have been perfect.
You're right.
Oh,
You're
that's
right,
the world
Harry.
stage yan eh. That's the world
right.
stage.
And Teddy Boy has
He has kept quiet. He's been mum about that.
is good in English, no?
He's
Right.
been defending the president, the EKJ. He's defended it multiple times. He's defended us against the CHR in the UN.
The main problem, Harry, with the AJK is you cannot defend the indefensible. Maybe it's one case, it's all right. It's two cases, it's all right. But the police admits that there are 4,200 cases which are pointed to as cases of AJK.
Parang,
The debate there cannot be resolved unless cases will be filed. And,
hindi kaya nga.
thus far, it's only the Kian de Los Santos case which have been decided.
Pending nga eh. Pending na halos
Yan,
lahat eh. No?
If I were the president, I don't like to be presumptuous. If I were the president going into midterm, I'll go into a retreat. Because he said he has communication with a divine power. Retreat with divine power. There's a book written about it, Conversation with God. It became a bestseller in the United States of America. Maybe a 5-day or every night.
Retreat.
Yeah, retreat, a conversation. And then take a look at the world as if it were new. It's there at the beginning,
The big picture.
Yeah, and the big picture, the big screen, and then make decisions. Okay, I'm sorry, I've done enough for my followers. I've done enough for supporters. We have to do this. What are the two main problems, really, of the president? He has two main problems. His legal group and his economic group. These are the guys who are giving him problems. They are the guys giving him problems.
Tama ka, the economic group is mukhang pa-out na si Dominguez. Eh,
Yun.
mukhang kasi GMA magpalit eh. Parang ganyan eh. No? Kasi mawala ng trabaho si GMA, ekonomista din yun.
But to remove Dominguez will take a shake up the universe.
Wala, si ano lang naman, Ayala lang naman ang hawak ni Dominguez eh. Wala namang iba eh.
No, but Dominguez was there at the very beginning.
Oo, from the beginning.
From the beginning.
I would
of
think it was
Digong's career.
Jokno, not Dominguez. I thought it was Jokno. who
Yeah,
was-
remove Jokno. He talks a lot about
May pagkaiba rin
figures.
si...
Mahirap yung figures. You go down to the basics. Figures we cannot understand. That's good for mathematicians, statisticians. Go down to specifics
Tama ka.
that can be understood by the people.
Tama
You have
ka.
to communicate with the people.
Last message, short message to our viewers. We have to end the show. Bono.
Well, my short message is always this. I always end up with this line, because I believe in George Bernard Shaw and Robert Kennedy. Robert Bernard Shaw wrote these lines before. Robert Kennedy made it popular. People see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not.
Why not?
We have talked about a lot of dreams here. Why not? Why not?
What a perfect last statement to make. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed our show. I'm going over time, and I hope we make sense to you. Now, the show is called Talk to Harry. I know it's a bit of a misnomer, kasi baliktad, I'm the one doing the talking, and this is not reverse. But you can comment. I'm always on YouTube and even Facebook, and you can make your comments. Just stay with the issues. Huwag tayo magpersonalan. Baka maging Duterte simbahan na naman to. So, God be with you and salamat po. Thank you very much.